Grand risings, my friend. Welcome to Burning Man. Sorry, I had to say that. We got a reputation out here. Good morning from Black Rock City. It is Thursday, 6:30 in the morning before Burn Week. Currently, we're at Build. This is the temple. If you don't know what temple is, stick around. This video is going to explain everything about Burning Man for you. I'm on Build crew for a camp called the Food and Dance Administration. Very official. And if you want to know what Burning Man is like, let me give you a behind the scenes. The burn before the burn. This is going to be a special burn. Look at this. This playa is so soft. It's a powder. It's like walking on a cloud. It's beautiful, but when the wind picks up, this is all coming off the ground and you won't be able to see a thing. Last year when the temple burned, there was a whiteout. You couldn't see the temple. You couldn't walk to find your way back to camp. I think I still got some footage of that. Burning Man is literally its name. Saturday night, in 9 days, that man will burn. And we will all gather around to celebrate the man burn until he falls down. We are standing between the man and between temple. They burned the temple on Sunday. I'm a sad boy, so the temple is for me. The temple is where you can go and leave something that you want to let go, and you go. If you ever go to burn, go to the temple. And the people here are the coolest people, by the way. Morning.
Good morning to you.
This is my camp, the Food and Dance Administration. This is my bus, Karma's Ronin, here at 730 and B Plaza. A plaza is a little intersection that has art usually in the middle. It's easy to find. We're gonna cook maybe 3,000 meals for people that we gift to people at the playa. This is one of the first things you need to know about Burning Man is there's no money here. So if you're a rich bro, just don't come. Everything that we do is for each other. I think there's a rumor that people barter, but I've not seen a trade in my life. Everything is really gifted. And that was really profound for me because off playa, I am a business owner and that doesn't matter here. And I spent my whole life trying to become somebody by being somebody in the world of capitalism. And Burning Man is so great because for a week or two, if you're on Build, it really is an upside down place where capitalism is not the answer to all of life's problems. Sure, you still get the tech bros that just want to rip drugs and party for a week, and you get the spiritual healer chicks that charge you $10,000 to patchouli your dog, and damn near everybody's an influencer. Like I'm an influencer. This is on my channel where I teach Airbnb, but again, that doesn't matter. That's my default life. And the reason why I come a whole week early is because to build something like this, a magical temporary place that is the third largest city in Nevada when it's done, it means so much more to me than I thought it ever would. And so I built that thing by myself the last couple of days. It's a little ragged, but it's also beautiful at the same time. At Burning Man, we don't judge. Let's come to camp. Let's make coffee. I've got choice of beans if you like. This one's 100% organic, single origin, no slave labor, no child labor coffee, by the way. And I keep it next to my toilet paper in the bus because that's how the burn works. You know these are related, right? Now you could say that this is a burner bus. It's dusty, so it looks rather burner, and it's got an onboard generator and everything you need. This was a prison bus. Homeland Security, when I bought this bus for 10 grand, I had to clean out all the seats, like the metal seats in the cages, and remove them, and I found wristbands for inmates from the LA County prison. There's some bad dudes that were in this bus. I probably should have got one of the spiritual influencer chicks to patchouli the place, because there's some bad energy in here, I'm sure. But now it's a princess bus. You can't really see it, but that's a king-size bed. I made a Murphy bed that folds down. And I've got my music studio in the back. I dropped out of music school. I'm not that good of a musician. I'm a better Airbnb host / Airbnb coach. But I like to try to keep up with my art. I think that's what all of us try to do, right? Is never grow up and never die. And after Burn, me and my ex-girlfriend, we went to Oregon, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, Northern California, and we spent months in this thing. It's so funny that in default world, people will think that this is some cringy meth bus, but the moment you're somewhere like this, or you're in the mountains, like when we drove through Kings Canyon, or Valley of Fire, or Silver Falls or Bryce Canyon. This thing is like living like a king out in the middle of nowhere. Everything's contextual, my friends. Let's get this coffee started. I was going to hit you with a joke that I was going to pray at an empty coffee pot in the middle of the playa and then have the coffee magically appear. As much as I love theatrics, I love just having my coffee more. I'm really about the sure thing. I'll get you guys with a good playa joke next time. Behind the scenes, coffee pot next to the trash. What can you do? While I wait for this coffee, let's pull up some chair. There's a few events that always happen at Burning Man. The Man burns Saturday night. The Temple burns Sunday night. And it's sometime every year Daft Punk plays at the fence. We just don't get to know where or when. There's also the 10 principles of Burning Man. I'm going to save you the comprehensive, and there's some evolution to these as well. So radical inclusion is one. Communal effort is another. So there's a group of us building this camp. But my campmate that I drove up here with, he got bit by a ton of spiders in the camp vehicle. He had to go to medical just in case, like he had like necrotic venom or something, and he's got an antibiotic now and he couldn't work. He was not allowed to be in the sun. So the very first 2 days I was building everything by myself just because he was, down for the count because of these bug bites. So radical self-reliance is one of the 10 principles, and I got to see that in Technicolor 2 days ago. Now we've added a few new 10 principles. I don't know if we call it radical consent or just consent. So consent is sexy, that's the 11th principle. And if you're in Facebook groups that people talk about the burn, radical shit posting, I think is number 12, because trolling online on behalf of the burn is great marketing, great media, good times, good camaraderie off the burn on Facebook. There's a few phrases in the burn world, which is the playa provides. I like that phrase. It really represents that no matter what you need, someone's going to be there or something's going to be there with whatever you need, even if it's just a sandwich, or spiritual life advice. But there's also a phrase, you don't get the burn you want, you get the burn you need, or some people say you get the burn you deserve. And I like to mix them. The playa decides. It's really fun. I came here for the first time 3 years ago, because this is my 4th burn and that's how time works, so 3 years ago. And I thought I was gonna have a super party-like experience. I'm just some dude looking to party, right? Had made a bunch of money and wanted validation for the fact that I was successful, and I wanted a place that was a little bit more unhinged, that I could be expressive and without inhibition, right? Your typical toxic dude kind of situation. And that was the opposite of what happened. And I was forever changed for it. And so I loved coming to the burn to see other people's first burns. I love to hear what they think the burn's going to be. And I love to see what the burn is for them. And I love to see people change in a week. Oh, it's so magical. This video is only a part 1 because there's so much for you to see when burn actually happens. This is pre-burn, right? And it's a lot of coffee, a lot of work, which maybe I'll catch you some B-roll of that. You can meet some of my campmates. And when the burn is built, you can see what life is like at the burn if you've got FOMO and you aren't coming this year. Well, don't worry. It was better next year. So before I let you go, this is a deep freeze full of food, fridge full of food. We got freezers outside. That's the king-size bed. That is a keyboard back there. That is a full shower bathroom because there's a porta potty kind of thing for the inmates, and I just cut a box out the front of the steel box and turned it into a composting toilet. This is my home away from home for 2 weeks. I will end this with some token educational advice for my current audience because I'm in a 30-day long-form educational video challenge. Burn, for me, for any of you Airbnb hosts out there, is not a escape, but it's like a testing ground. I love challenges, so this is cool and fun, but in order for me to come here for 2 or 3 weeks, my business has to run completely without me. My business is, if we talk about the other ones that aren't relevant to this channel, everything has to run in my absence, which means that I have to spend time intentionally building to plan for times that I normally would be needed and then replace those things, right? And when you sell a company, the key man principle is a big problem. Like if you sell a company that relies on you, the key revenue driver for the business, and then you leave, the company's worth nothing. So nobody would buy your business if you were stuck in it. So if you ever want to sell your business, go to Burning Man. and plan for your absence and use it as an incentive. There's a lot that we could talk about with automating a company. For 4 years after building my first company, I wouldn't take a single day off. I was so afraid that if I left for even just a few days, everything would break and fall apart. And that wasn't true. It was just my inability to trust people to do a good job, like me. But here's the truth. When you own the company, you will fight harder for a company because it is your survival. And Burning Man helps you tap into that survival fire that we all have. I really believe that survival is one of the best drivers of humankind. And if you ever want to build something great, get into survival mode. And because your employees aren't in survival mode for your company, they're not going to ever do as good a job as you will. So don't expect that. So build to have 3 people do the different parts of the business that you do by yourself. And in corporate America, they probably follow this, right? Sales, operations, and accounting. Don't let any of those 3 all go to lunch with each other, because then they'll start your business and cut you out, right? So you should separate the powers, because you probably do sales, operations, and accounting, but you have 3 people do those separately. No one will ever know enough to usurp you, and you can go to Burning Man and spend a couple weeks doing whatever you do, because everybody's burn is different. You guys got to see sunrise with me because I woke up at 6. Other people, you'll see sunrise because they stayed up, and they're going to go do a back-to-back Carl Cox sunset, sunrise set thing. You know, everybody's burn is their burn. Thank you again for coming to another video, day 29 of the 30-day challenge. And tomorrow I'm going to try to hit you with something great. I'm going to do my best. But today I got to get back to building this circus tent. So as always, my friends, I'll see you on the other side.